Let's talk about 2020, okay? I think this has been a building year. It's been a momentum year. I think everybody who goes to the ETH hackathons and the ETH global events sees this swell of momentum happening. I just want to ask the panelists, what do you see for 2020? Any thoughts on, from developer tooling to growth with dApps? Would love to hear perspectives.
Start on that one. I think for me, I think 2020 is going to look a lot like 2019. I personally don't expect huge leaps and bounds this year, but I think that's a positive thing. A lot like was spoken before, you can't build everything, and there are still a few things left that need to be built. And we're in that process of building these fundamental infrastructure things, whether it's us at OpenZeppelin building, these basic components, GSN, our audited smart contracts, whether it's DeFi and this idea of money Legos. I mean, I would say if anything, 2020, we really see people start building more money Legos and start to build these, initial shapes. Because once you really get into the mindset of, oh, we're building a composable ecosystem, I think we're going to start to see the acceleration by the end of 2020 is my personal expectation.
I think I would tend to agree with and echo most of that. I think we were very fortunate as a team to be able to raise a good amount of capital straight out of the gate, which allowed us to build a lot of these things ourselves that realistically, we should be a music player company, not a decentralized storage company plus a wallet company plus 5 other things, right? And I think, for the folks who can come and build today, there's a ton of opportunity. But as more and more of these tools come on the market and make this easier and easier than it is, we're going to see this Cambrian explosion, right, of exploration. What you really need to get to a point with is for a single developer to be able to build something that is usable by a broad group of folks without having to, be fully vertically integrated as a protocol thing, right? I think we're starting to see a little bit of that today, right? I think Uniswap is a great example of this, but there will be, I think, more and more of these things as the composable tools in our ecosystem improve.
The composability and the interoperability and everything that's happening is really great. And you have this network effect, obviously, because it's 2 to the power of n. Everything you add can be used by everything, and it's really, really powerful. But I think something which is also interesting is if I take back the talk a little bit to user experience and what we saw in 2019, and I think that's going to become even stronger in 2020, is the focus on user experience. And I'd say in a way it's also people daring to think about user experience, because in hackathons, for instance, in 2018, when you went to, let's say, Devcon, ETH Berlin, ETH Denver, whatever, the amount of user experience talks you had related to let's onboard the masses, let's talk about this, was around, we checked, was around 7%, something like that. And now we're talking in 2019 around 25%. And you see hackathon projects which are, you wouldn't be ashamed to put them on the App Store. As compared to what you had. And this is all possible thanks to all the different projects that you have that provide scalability, that provide you DeFi tools, user experience, a lot of different standards and a lot of different ways for things to work together. So I think we're going to see that even ramp up in 2020. Personally, I'm willing to gamble that we will see an application in 2020 which will be able to be used by mainstream users and will actually have some effect. I don't know if we're going to see, wallets in every pocket just yet, but, maybe in a specific route, in a specific section, we're going to see something like that.
I would posit we have that today, but I'm biased.
Yeah, definitely echo all the thoughts, and Scale's mantra of more devs, very aligned with ConsenSys. Shameless plug, our CEO has a keynote titled "A Million Devs" later this afternoon. Everyone should check it out. So it's something we're super passionate about. I think through all our various data sources, we see the number of devs increasing at an accelerated pace. We also see a lot of people, it usually starts with nights and weekends, and at hackathons, we see it our grants program, people starting like a lot of just R&D projects, and the quality is really increasing. I think, from my perspective, something I'm excited to see in 2020 is actually more business model innovation, especially for something like Layer 2. I think we saw something like the proliferation of tokens that really help Layer 1 stick. And ultimately, it's, business models that really will help new technology become ingrained in various stacks and actually capture value. From an investor's point of view, sometimes you feel like it's a massive cop-out to just say, like, well, I don't know where we can capture value in the stack. And I really think it's a collaborative effort between investors and also builders, so that just giving the space to experiment and test out new business models with users and also with the DApp developers too.